This program is proudly brought to you by PNG Motors, Gazelle International Hotel, and Telecom Limited.
Good evening, folks. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Sports Scene. As always, I am your host, Jaylee Sapir, set and ready to bring to you all the latest sporting news. Now, last weekend marked the NRL Grand Final between the Melbourne Storm and the Penrith Panthers. But how good was that game? Penrith, of course, came out on top, proving to be the best NRL team to date. But we'll talk more about that later on the show tonight. So let's see what else is coming up tonight. We take a look at the Harlequins Rugby Union Club's preparations for the Cobra 10s and Singapore 7s. We talk about the Prime Minister's 13th game to be hosted this weekend. We speak to ambitious athlete Benjamin Aliel. And we celebrate the Steamy 7's 30th anniversary. But first, back to the Grand Final showdown. Let's take a look at the stats from last Sunday night's game. Now, Panthers 4 in a row, and they are undeniably the best NRL team this decade has seen. The results speak for itself year in, year out. But on to some more local news now. The PNG couple men's head coach Felipe Arango announced his 23-man squad for the 2026 FIFA World Cup Oceania qualifiers in Fiji, with Alwyn Komolong to lead as captain. The Port Moresby Rackets Club has shown their appreciation towards the family of late coach Kwalam Apisa with the signage and the renaming of Court Number 2 at the POM Rackets Club. Now present to unveil the signage was his daughter, tennis sensation Abigail Tere Apisa. And the Pirates Club were declared champions of the 2024 Morobe Rugby Union competition when they defeated the Royals 21 points to 16 on Saturday in Lae City. But let's take a quick break now. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more on Sports Scene. Welcome back to Sports Scene. The Harlequins Rugby Union Club will be participating in the Cobra 10s in Malaysia next month. This will be their second appearance at this prestigious tournament. Following this, they will proceed to Singapore, where they will compete at the Singapore 7s for the very first time. The Cobra 10s is the world's premier rugby 10s tournament, which is organized annually by the Cobra Rugby Club of Malaysia. The tournament is held each November at the MBPJ Stadium in Petaling Jaya, Malaysia. The first Cobra 10s tournament was held in 1967. Today, 16 top teams from around the world compete for the Hui Weng Chun Challenge Trophy and title as 10s champions. In Port Moresby, Papua New Guinea, the Harlequins Rugby Union Club, famous for its success over the years, secured a spot at the Cobra 10s to be staged in Malaysia next month. This will be the Harlequins' second appearance at the Cobra 10s tournament. But that's not the only tournament the boys are preparing for. They are also set for the SCC 7s a week afterwards.
November the 2nd and 3rd, we'll be participating in the Malaysia Cobra 10s, and then the following week, the week after, the 8, 9, 10 and will be in Singapore too, competing in the Singapore 7s.
Caleb, Kalen, and Jamal are all from the Harlequins Premier Division team and all participated at last year's Cobra 10s. Each player described their experience at last year's games.
Competition, really, because they've got players that have more experience in rugby. So yeah, that was one of the big challenges because they're also huge and all of that. But yeah, it was a really good thing to go against and also try to learn from.
For me, it's like experience. It's my first time being down there playing like this. It's very tough, and many of the players down there are like internationals, and like it's very hard to like compete with them.
The players recognize the efforts of their management and show their appreciation.
The clubs put a lot of work into this tour, so given a lot of boys opportunities to see rugby outside of PNG, and it helps them develop as a player if they want to further their rugby career or anything. And this tour shows them what's out there and what they can expect when they travel.
The Harlequins Rugby Union Club was established 30 years ago. Most of the management who contributed to its early days still play a vital role in the club's success. Executives from the club sent in expression of interest to these competition directors, and depending on the club's success rate, receive an invite. This move molds and shapes the players not only on the field but as human beings.
Yeah, the management has been great and giving the opportunity to some of the younger boys who haven't represented the country or the province yet to go and showcase what Harlequins and the team is all about outside Bauer Park.
Well, yeah, shout out to HQ Harlequins, the management, the coaches for putting all in the hard work and to the team.
I just like to thank the club to give the opportunity for me to express like playing to the international place like that. I never like chance to in a rep country to rep like this, but the club give me opportunity to go down there, like express myself, and it's like that. I'm so honored. Thank you to the clubs and the management and my coaches and everything.
The Harlies are currently in training, preparing for these two significant events.
Transitioning from 7s and then 15s to 10s and then to 7s. Training has been intense for us, but hopefully leading towards the tournament, the training gets relaxed a little bit. Yeah.
Competition dates are as follows. Travel dates have also been set. The Harlequins participating at these tournaments showcases great guidance and mentorship from their club. Now, such a good initiative there by the Harlies management. So good luck to their boys on their Asian tour. Now let's move over to Rugby League. The PNG Prime Minister's 13 teams were announced this week leading up to the PM's 13 game this weekend at the NFS. Incoming PNG representative coaches Tani Norris and Jason Demetriou have named their representative sides in their new roles, selecting their squads for the upcoming Prime Minister's 13 matches against the Australian Prime Minister's 13 selections.
I think that's a big reason. I think there's a couple of players in there that Sakias Kamati, who was man of the match in the Dem Cup final, has probably earned his stripes through playing for Hagen, so that's a good reward for him. And Maria is another guy who's had an up and down season with injuries, but I see him as a player that's going to have a big part in PNG Rugby League for a long time, so trying to do my best to get some confidence into him, and I know the crowd are excited to see him play.
In the PNG Hunters-dominated men's side, Demetriou clarified the reason behind his selection. Petro Sivanasiva medal winner Judah Rimbu was selected at hooker and was also named captain for the Kumul side.
Yeah, I think he epitomises everything that you want in your leaders. You know, he's got a voice out there on the field, he leads with his actions, and he's in the middle of the field, so he's got a good opportunity to lead from the front, and I see him as a captain of the Kumuls in the future, and it's a good opportunity for him to get some experience this weekend.
Following his appointment as coach, Demetriou seemed excited about the new role and set for the new challenge ahead.
Oh, it's electric. Yeah, I was here for the Dem Cup final and really looking forward to experiencing it now where everybody's supporting the Kumuls. I've seen it on TV, but really looking forward to being part of it. I know the players, you can feel how excited they are. It means a lot to wear the Kumul shirt, and I'm sure we'll see that on Sunday.
Preparations for the showdown are in order and the Kumuls are well prepared.
The biggest challenge for us is having to fly to Fiji on Monday and half of our team having to fly on Saturday. So that's been the biggest challenge to overcome. So there's 11 players that will play in the Pacific Championships that are leaving on Saturday. So we've sort of had two squads, two camps, and the rest of us will go over and join them on the Monday. That's been a huge challenge that we've dealt with, but I see this team as the next generation of Kumuls for the future, and I'm really excited to see them play on Sunday.
Back to Leibold, the crossfield kick. Oh, this could be a try. Oh, Junior Rock. A big chance now for PND. With the Sampras on hands. Junior Rock. Lays it back. Dribble inside ball.
All right, let's take another break. And when we come back, we talk to Athletics PNG's Ben Aliel. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. You're watching Sports Scene. 27-year-old Benjamin Aliel is currently making a name for himself in the sport of athletics. Ben, who is a 400-meter specialist, is based in Goroka but recently visited Port Moresby to participate in the Southern Regional Athletics Championships last month, where he clocked a season's best time of 11.07 seconds in the men's 100 meters. Now, I had a chat with him to find out his experience and to also learn a bit more about him. Meet Benjamin Aliel. He's a 27-year-old striving athlete.
My name is Benjamin Aliel. I'm from a mixed parentage of Sandown Province in East New Britain. My mom is East New Britain, my dad's from Pacific. I grew up in Popondetta and Kokopo. I went to school there. Kokopo, Popondetta, yeah.
Ben was first introduced to athletics while a student in his home province of Kokopo, East New Britain. Athletics East New Britain hosts athletics programs for students across the province. It was through this program that Ben decided to participate, in turn finding his love for the sport.
Like an athletics program that is involves schools, and then after the house carnivals, they go to inter-school carnivals, they go to district games, and then district games, provincial games. Went through that system.
2024 marks Ben's 10th year since making his debut as a recognized athlete. He first displayed his potential at the 2014 PNG Games shortly after graduating from Malabanga Secondary School in East New Britain Province. Following this, his focus was then shifted to the 2015 Pacific Games for a placing in the men's sprint squad. He then moved to Popondetta, and 2 years later, Aliel relocated to Lae with the intention of enrolling for studies at the University of Technology, but his hopes were sadly shattered by school fee worries. His primary focus then shifted to athletics, and he began training with coach Alan Akia in preparation for the PNG Games. Akia coached Ben extremely well, and it was evident when Aliel won the 400 meters at the National Championships in dominating fashion and went on to run 3 outstanding 400-meter races at the PNG Games. The 27-year-old's performance and victory at the 2023 Pacific Games was inspiring as he ran his best and came out on top in a very competitive field, timing his runs to perfection in both the semi-final and the final.
I started running when I was in grade 10. That was 2012, I guess. Yeah, and then all through the years, I did my training and all that. I joined Athletics PNG in 2013, 14, I guess. Yeah, 14. And then I did my debut in Vanuatu 2017. Yeah, and I think the biggest highlight of my career is the 2023 Pacific Games. I ran like my PB, and it was like one of the fastest times in PNG. Yeah.
Aliel, who is now based at the National Sports Institute in Goroka, says he has his eyes set on big things for the future, and he remains grateful to all those who stand by him, especially his coach, Nelson Stone.
I just want to say thank you for my coach. He always there for me. Whenever I need him, I send him a message, and he always was there.
His most recent competition was at the Southern Regional Athletics Championships last month in Port Moresby. Aliel ran our season's best in the men's 100 meters to claim gold. He also claimed gold in the 200 meters and of course his specialty, the 400 meters. The 27-year-old, who is currently working as a coach with National Sports Institute's Athletics Development Program, is now preparing for the National Championships this November.
My advice would be to never ever stop trying. It's not only for sports. When you want something, you just have to go for it. Yeah. When you set your mind and body to it, just go for it. Yeah.
What a talented young man. But over the weekend, the Steamships group of companies celebrated their Steamy 7's 30th anniversary. Let's see how it went. The annual Steamy 7s ended on a high note despite the scorching Port Moresby heat on Saturday at the National Football Stadium.
So today's program is part of our annual, what we call as a tri-series events that we run throughout the year. And one of those tri-series events is the Steamship 7s. What's interesting for this one this year is it is our 30th anniversary. The Steamships 7s started in the early 90s, and this year actually marks the 30th anniversary.
Both men and women formed a total of 11 teams each, with games starting as early as 8:30 a.m. The Steamy 7's 30th anniversary witnessed at least 1,000 individuals present on the day, with extra entertaining activities to do.
So apart from the rugby, we've got bouncy castles for the kids, we've got SME stalls, but pretty much the theme for today is Steamship 7s, touch rugby for the ladies, and 7th rugby union for the guys. We've got 4 teams that have flown into Port Moresby for this one. 1 out of Kimbe and 1 out of Leyte. 2 teams. We've got the male and the female team out of Consort Leyte, and then we've got our Kimbe team as well. Yeah, both the male and female as well.
The final results from the Steamy 7's 30th anniversary are as follows. But it's time to go for another break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back to wrap things up. Welcome back to Sports Scene. Now here's what's trending internationally. A former world #1 and Arjuna Award winner Modgul's failure to make the finals of the 10-meter air rifle mixed team and women's 50-meter rifle 3P in Tokyo had her struggling with mental health issues, and she needed to consult a sports psychologist. Tokyo has helped Modgul deal with despondency after Paris. Manchester United narrowly avoided another embarrassing defeat as substitute Harry Maguire headed in an injury time equalizer to salvage a 3-3 draw against Porto in the Europe League on Thursday after Erik ten Hag's team had given up an early 2-0 lead and seen Bruno Fernandes sent off to a second straight game. Chelsea will be without two of their stars during their next Premier League clash against Liverpool, following a viral video of a brawl between Nick Jackson and Morato. The new ruling is not for NFL's game day media policy. Now, on game days, players are not allowed to decide that they be interviewed outside their locker rooms. One team, though, the Cincinnati Bengals, announced that they would not be doing interviews in their locker room. The decision has been taken to prevent players being caught on camera in compromising situations or totally naked. All right, here's a fun fact. On this day in 2020, French Open women's tennis 19-year-old Iga Swiatek of Poland wins her country's first singles major title, beating American Sofia Kenin 6-4 and 6-1. But before we go, let's see what's coming up this weekend. All right, before we wrap things up, if you have a sports-related story you'd like us to cover, please contact us on 312-9229, or you can Facebook us, email us, or even drop by our office at Level 2 Garden City, Boroko, here in Port Moresby. But that is a wrap for tonight's show. I hope you enjoyed my company, because I certainly enjoyed yours. Do join me same time, same place next week right here on your #1 to watch. I am Jaylee Sapies, and this was Sports Scene. Good night for now.
This program was proudly brought to you by PNG Motors, Gazelle International Hotel, and Telecom Limited.